Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name is Abby Montez, and I'm here with Maury Newman, and we're going to talk to you today about the VA benefits. But before we talk about that, I just want to introduce myself to you, and Maury will introduce himself as well. Currently, I just retired from the United States Marine Corps. I was in the Marines for over 30 years. I joined in September 11th, 1989. In 91, I went to Desert Storm and served this country in war. And then in 2003, I was part of the initial push to Baghdad. In 2017, I met Maury. He's with American Hero Mortgage, and he asked me a couple questions about my VA benefits. To be honest with you, all those years in the military, no one ever sat down and shared and educated me like Maury Newman did. So Maury, just tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are and what you're doing for veterans every day.
My name is Maury Newman. I'm a loan officer. I'm also a real estate agent. I've been in the business for over 20 years, and right now it's my goal to educate the military on their benefits based on Abby's experience and what his story, as well as my father's, who was in the Army Air Corps and never used his benefits. So there's a very high percentage of military who never use their benefits, and we ask why. We're asking that to everybody. Why haven't you used your benefits? No one's gone around and showed them how to use your benefits and what the questions are. And a lot of people have questions, and that's what we're here for, to answer your questions and help you and simplify the process.
Yeah, you know, you're right about that. When I think about the VA loan and just everything, they didn't teach me that in boot camp. When I went to SOI, School of Infantry, or MCT, Marine Combat Training, when I was in any regular schools, when I was picked up sergeant, I went to sergeant's course, staff academy, advanced course, all these different stuff for education. At no time did the military sit down and says, let me share about what your benefits are. And to think about that, it's sad, because the statistics show on the VA website, the government website, only 12% of veterans currently are using their VA loan out of 24 million veterans. So
Wow.
24 million veterans, only 12% are using it. And that's where you come in and you educated me. And when you educated me, one of the things that being in the military is, I always said, if you learn something, just don't keep that information for yourself, but share that with other people. So I was able to team up with Maury, and Maury, we've been blessed to go around South Florida, from Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, Broward County, to talk to the Navy, to talk to the Army, to talk to the Marines, to talk to the Coast Guard, basically to talk any military, and not just military. We've spoken to nurses, we've talked first responders, firefighters, and we shared information about educating them, because there's a lot of people out there. But the number one key today is the VA loan, right?
Right.
So Maury shared with me in 2017 when we met. He just sat me down and says, hey, Abby, you know the 3 benefits of the VA loan? I was like, no, what are they? What will you share? What are those benefits for a veteran like myself serving this country? What are the benefits of the VA loan versus FHA loan?
The biggest benefit is 100% financing. So you're not coming up with any money as a down payment for the property. The second is no mortgage insurance. So basically, on an FHA loan, you would be putting down 3.5%, and on a $300,000 loan, you might have mortgage insurance of $250 per month. So every month you're paying $250, and it's not helping to pay down your loan.
Not good.
Whereas on a VA loan, it's zero.
Okay.
So it really is an excellent loan. It's one of the best ones out there. It's just a matter of understanding how to obtain it. And I think answering the questions, because everybody has a question. Everybody has a different scenario. What credit score do you need? What income do you have to have? How do I acquire my, to get my benefits? So that's another question. You want to talk about the VA eligibility?
So before we get eligibility, let's talk about, so those 3 qualifications you said. First of all, the VA loan, 100% loan to value of the house.
Correct.
Number 2,
no mortgage insurance.
No mortgage insurance. And the third one is a competitive or lower interest rates. So let's talk about my story, because in 91, when I was in Desert Storm, I got back And I remember I got a yellow envelope, military. It says, oh, by the way, here is your VA loan paperwork. But I didn't read it. I didn't really know. I didn't understand about it.
What the differences were.
Yeah.
You didn't know one from the other.
Exactly. So when I went to my mortgage agent, I didn't ask them if they were a specialist. Now you're a military specialist, so that's a big difference. If you're going to deal with someone with your VA loan, it's important to have someone that is your qualifications, and those are what?
Well, as far as a realtor, I'm a military relocation professional, but my experience within the VA loans is the amount of loans that I've done. So, and the experience. But I believe that if you're going to work with somebody, they should have the knowledge of what they're doing. Guidelines always change. So what you do one week could change from the next. So I think that's very important to work with someone that actually cares about what they do and understands who they're working with. And then, you know what? I might not have the answer. I may have to say, I have to get back to you. But knowing that to read up on your guidelines and what's happening, because there's always a change.
Exactly.
Especially with what's happening now in the world with the pandemic.
Sure.
The guidelines have changed, so you always have to be aware. But this is something that I think that can benefit all of you. It's just understanding where to go to and what questions to ask, and taking out the fear and the unknown and getting what you want.
Right. But I think the number one thing is knowing someone that is working with VA loans and understands it. See, when '94, when I purchased my first home, I didn't ask the real estate agent, do you work with veterans? Do you know about the VA loan? I told them, oh, by the way, I'm a veteran. I served in Desert Storm, and I have a VA loan options. And they go, oh, okay, no problem. Never asked her a question ever again. Went to closing, and I didn't have the VA loan. See, I had FHA loan at the time. Never knowing to ask and anything. I didn't know about the mortgage insurance. I didn't know about the 100% financing. I didn't know about the low interest rate. So I got a higher interest rate, which hurt me because that cost me more money. Number two, I had to pay mortgage insurance every month. So until I paid off 20% of the loan, is that the way it is? 20% of the loan?
Actually, now currently on FHA loans, sometimes you can't even get rid of the mortgage insurance. So it's there, and that those guidelines I think are changing also. But basically, you have to be aware and communicate. And I think that when we did your loan, we started off, and you were aware of the process throughout, from start to finish.
On my second loan, but I'm talking about the first one, my first experience.
That was a bad experience.
Yeah, well, it was because I wasn't educated, and that's what we're here today to do, to educate you, and don't go through what I went through. Don't end up paying that mortgage insurance. So you're just giving away $250 every single month for the first 3 years of the loan, and I didn't pay down my principal. It didn't help me any. It just giving money away. Where by that using the VA loan, I was able to eliminate. And that was the second time in 2017 when I purchased my second home. I was educated by Maury at American Hero Mortgage, and when he educated me and explained to me about the benefits, it changed my perspective and understanding it. And that's when we, like we said earlier, that's when we went out and we started educating military members all over South Florida about their benefits. And it's amazing how I'll talk to a master sergeant, someone's been in the military over 20 plus years, and they don't know it. And of course, I'll talk to a young lance corporal or E1 or E3, and they haven't been educated. And even the E5, a senior leadership as a sergeant, they have no idea. And it's something that it's curious that we serve our country, we do all these great things, but we don't know our benefits. Almost like your father, Maury. When we met, talking about your father, he served in the Army Air Corps, and
Correct.
Did he get to use his benefits?
No, he didn't use his benefits because he was misinformed. So he didn't use it, and he thought it was a bad loan. And what happened, I think at that time, is a friend of his got a very high interest rate. So he thought that particular loan was a bad loan. Until years later, we discussed it, and I told him how good it was and went into detail. But he never used it, and he didn't use it because of misinformation. Exactly. And that's why we're here and we do what we do, because we want to spread the word
Yeah. So
and
we
share information.
we definitely want to change our percentage of 12% are using the loan right now out of 24 million. So if what we're sharing today can change that number and bring it higher, if you use American Hero Mortgage or you use someone else, the most important thing is educating and knowing the benefits. But a lot of times it's like, well, why do I qualify, or what are my qualifications to get into that VA loan? I think that's a lot of things. A lot of people don't even know what are your qualifications.
Correct.
So, one of the qualifications for eligibility, number one is you have to be activated for more than 90 days. So looking at all the military, reserve or active duty, if you're a reservist in the National Guard, right now the pandemic, a lot of military are being called up. Once you're called up and you served over 90 days, consecutive duty, not 89, but 90 plus, then you are eligible. So right now, in the next couple of months, there's going to be a lot of people that were in the National Guard or in the reserves that are going to get called up for this pandemic, or anything that may be going on, and they may get eligible right now.
Sure.
So they probably don't even know that. So hopefully this video is advising you to know. The other thing is, if you are in the reserves or the National Guard, like myself, I was in the reserve, but I got activated not once, but twice. So once I got activated, I qualified. But if you never get activated or you never deploy, you don't go anywhere, it's 6 years. So if you served 6 years in the military, in the National Guard reserves, you are eligible for that VA loan. And a lot of people don't know that as well. So that's truly a benefit for you that you can take advantage. So we can share about my story. So my second time when I got educated in 2017, like many of us, we have fear. And it's usually what? The fear of the unknown, because we don't know. And when Maury sat me down, he explained to me about the VA loan. I'll be honest with you, I was skeptical. I was like, I'm not sure, because I didn't go through the process before. I didn't understand it. But that's where you came. You basically educated me. You kept me at ease. You explained to me everything. You put it in order, and it kind of gave me a sense of, you know what, I'm gonna trust you. And that's big too. You have to trust your real estate agent and the person doing it. But showing your qualifications and what you've been doing with other military members was key.
I agree.
And talking about your experience and everything you're doing. Obviously now we're doing the educational part and we're reaching out, and we don't want to lose this during this time. So that's why we're doing this video. So Maury, real quick, if they wanted to get a hold of you and they want to find it, because everyone's scenario is different. People want to find out. So if you want to find out more information, how can they contact you? How can they get a hold of you? What can they do for they can get the any information?
My office number is 754-202-4376. That's 754-202-4376. My cell number is 954-806-3677. That's 954-806-3677. And the web address is AmericanHeroMortgage.com.
So it's AmericanHeroMortgage.com, and contact Maury. Like I said, everyone's situation is different. It might be a VA loan. It might be a refinance. It might be you say, oh, I don't
Debt
need
consolidation.
I don't need to buy a house, but you want to, you can. There's so many options right now.
You may want to make improvements to your house. You need a new roof. You need impact windows.
Mm-hmm.
The house needs fixing up.
Yeah. So you can, those opportunities, instead of drowning in debt, you can take advantage of the VA loan and pay off that debt, or get a new roof, or get, hurricane season's here. People want to get hurricane, windows or shutters or generator, whatever it may be. Use the opportunity to use your VA loan. Don't be the statistics of the other, 88% that are not using the loan. The 88% of the 24 million veterans out there that have earned the VA loan and are not using it. Don't be like Maury's dad, and don't be like myself. For 27 years, I used it for the first time. And on our next segment, we'll talk about how many times you can use the VA loan We'll talk about different scenarios and different opportunities. But today we just wanted to focus on those three things. We're going to recap them again. So basically the three benefits are 100%
Right.
loan to value,
No mortgage insurance,
no mortgage insurance, which is huge
and a
because
low interest rate.
and a very low interest rate. And then cap it off, eligibility, 90 days of active duty or more, or 6 years in the reserves. And hopefully this helps you and educates you to understand the benefits of the VA loan. And once again, to get a hold of Maury Newman, you can contact him at American Hero Mortgage, or your cell phone number and your business number. And Maury, what is that again?
754-202-4376. My cell is 954-806-3677.
Well, I hope you learned a lot today, and we look forward to our next segment with American Hero Mortgage and the VA benefits for every veteran out there that served this country. Thank you.
Thank you.